10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All systems go.
You're listening to Sudbury News Talk.
I want to show you something.
Stand by.
On the morning shift.
Anything
Could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh. Thanks for being with us. It's going to be a great morning. It is Tuesday, October the... Is it 10th? Do I have the wrong date on my computer?
Or the 11th.
It's the 11th, sorry. Oh, good morning, Nick. There you are. I put the
Good
wrong
morning.
I put the wrong date on the video this morning, so
Oh,
crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what happened. Anyways, I guess
it was a long weekend, Aaron. It was a long weekend.
long weekend. I'll blame it on that one. Anyways, we'll have two videos on October the 13th. So it is October the 11th today. Yesterday was the 10th. I knew it was the 10th, and then I saw something yesterday that said, oh, it must not be the 10th. Anyways, whatever. It is what it is. I'll blame it on the long weekend and the fact that I might be getting older. I have no idea. I guess that can work from here on in because I just turned 50 recently. So, I mean, from now on, I guess I can just start saying, blame it on age. Yeah. So how you doing this morning, Nick?
I'm doing really good. I had a great Thanksgiving and spent with a lot of great people. Went hunting for birds with my dad, who's obviously blind because there was a bird right in front of us. And he did not get out of the vehicle to go and shoot it. I'm just learning how to shoot birds. I've shot twice and I've missed twice. So I was just hoping, because I don't remember how it tastes. Do you remember how it tastes?
Do I remember how like wild bird tastes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
No.
Pedri.
Yeah. Well, I think so. I don't. I guess maybe not. I guess I don't remember. If you're asking me. So
But
yeah.
it was a great weekend.
So it's been long. We don't remember what kind of bird are you talking about? Pheasant?
Pedri.
What
I don't
is
know
that
how to
in
say
English?
that in Partridge.
Partridge. There you go. I should have known that. Anyways, yeah.
It's so interesting what people do up in the north. My girlfriend, I go to her garage sometimes and hang out in her garage because she works in her garage. And she just has these hooks hanging from her garage. And I have a lot of people who follow me from all around the world and a lot of in the States down south. And I'm just like, do you guys know what this is? And people are like, no. And it's like, well, it's to hang a deer or hang a moose, And there was like this dead flying squirrel, like just like the skin and its face in her garage. And I'm like, only in the north will you see weird stuff like this, or you won't ever see things like this in Toronto. I have friends from Toronto that come here and they're like, you guys are crazy,
Well, we are. We're from Northern Ontario and we are crazy for sure. There's no doubt about it.
And we are proud.
We're proud to be crazy. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. We have our own culture up here. We have all kinds of things that we have to endure. And so maybe that kind of rubs off a bit. We are more rural. We have hunting opportunities. We have outdoor opportunities that maybe people that live in bigger cities just don't have. And we have some toys to enjoy the opportunities, summer and winter. And we can get out and, live off the land, so to speak. We can fish, we can hunt, and all kinds of things that I guess it's harder to do in downtown Toronto.
Exactly. And that's why we need different representation up north, because we do live a completely different lifestyle. We have a completely different culture. So it just makes sense that we have better representation up in the north than down south.
Yeah. And you were talking about the committee that's trying to change the boundaries and give us one less MPP, one less region of representation in the north. And that's just been kind of prolonged a little bit. So hopefully it's prolonged and it won't go through. That's what I'm hoping. But I guess We did say we were going to put up the website where we could go to voice our opinion before October the 30th, right? So we'll have to get on that. I don't know if you can or I'm going to do that. Either way, I got to get that so we can continue to put that up on the screen, or also let everyone know audibly for the radio how to do that. So Jerome says, crazy like a fox. Good morning, Jerome. So I apologize. I won't be able to get people's comments up on the screen here as I'm at my office, and for some reason it looked like everything was ready to go, and there's a problem obviously that I have to troubleshoot here. So it just is what it is, and so I will do my best to keep on top of the comments as they're coming in this morning, and also if you could do the same, Aneka, that would be great too. Just because I'm not able to get them up on the screen. We are live on CKLU 96.7 FM. We are also streaming at cklu.ca. And if you click on the Radio Player Canada logo on cklu.ca, you can stream us that way. If you want to download the Radio Player Canada app, listen to us anytime, anywhere on your favorite device. That's always great. Make sure to support CKLU in any way, shape, form you can. I've been just saying go on the site and donate, but we also have merch, which is really cool. You can get your coffee mug, you can get t-shirts, you can get all kinds of stuff. So just make sure to visit that section of the website, and proceeds do go to keeping this great station on the air is the greatest benefit for supporting. And you get some great merch at the same time, which I have to do still. I want to get my CKLU coffee mug.
Yeah, and the radio station's in danger. We are losing funding. Funding has completely changed. Therefore, it actually goes a really long way when you go and get the merch and you're supporting us, even just watching us, sharing about us. But if you go on the website and you donate, because we're losing funding, and if we don't get any funding, there will be no radio station and there will be no CKLU.
We do rely on people's donations. There's a small portion that does come from Laurentian University, and we're very thankful for the students that do support us and the Student Association. We're grateful for that. It's unfortunately not enough to keep the station going. We are a campus and community radio station, and so we do rely on the community support as well. I just want to give a shout out to Marco, good morning, and Julia as well. Good morning. Hope you guys are having a great day. We are live on youtube.com/Sudbury News, facebook.com/Sudbury News. Grateful for the platforms, thankful for the moderators who are moderating and making sure that everything is, we're not doing things that are, against the Facebook or YouTube standards. We don't want to do that. We just want to have a community conversation. We're just in a local, Sudbury region, and we're having a Sudbury-centric conversation. And speaking of that, let's just get right into the weather. We'll get that out of the way. Too many stories to talk about today. Too much stuff. So hopefully we can get to most of it, because it was not only a weekend, it was a long weekend. So we'll have a little bit of a backlog of stories. So hopefully we can get through those. We'll be back right after this with a Nick. Now, if you've been outside already this morning, you felt it, or if you had to get into your car, you had to scrape off the frost off the windows. And it was a bit of a nippy morning and a bit of a nippy drive. It's currently 0, but it feels like -3 out there. The humidity is 99%, so very high humidity. But today, good news, mix of sun and cloud clearing this afternoon, early in the afternoon. Wind will be gusting from the southwest up to about 40 near noon. The high will get to this today, 17. And the UV index will be 4 or moderate. And then tonight, clear, increasing cloudiness after midnight, then 60% chance of showers overnight, and low of 11. We're getting into the long range forecast here for Wednesday. Showers forecast and a high of 13. Thursday, chance of showers, 40%. Friday, chance of showers in the range of 30%. And anyways, in this long range forecast, it's forecasting 40, 30, 30, 40, 30% showers. Highs, not all that high. So enjoy today while it's here, 17. It looks like it's going to be going down from there, 13 tomorrow, 11 on Thursday, and then 8, and then 7, and then they're forecasting by next week it going down to the high of 4. So getting a little cooler, a little wetter, and that's just the way it's looking over for Sudbury over the next few days. And here's a look at your satellite. If you are watching on YouTube or Facebook, but I can just let everybody know listening that it's a lot of clouds are rolling in. So that's why the forecast has those chance of showers coming up for the next week or so. Well, we'll be back with a lot of headlines. The Sudbury Wolves played twice this weekend. We'll have the report from that, as well as all the headlines right after this. So, Nick, we had a really great Thanksgiving this weekend. I know a lot of friends got together and we had a really great time. Were you kind of plugged into what's been going on news-wise, locally? Just you haven't been because you're out hunting and feasting and all of those things, right?
Yeah, I'm really trying to stay off the social media, or news can be just so negative, Aaron. There's just lots of negative things happening. So on the weekend, I've just been spending my time outdoors.
Yeah,
so
which is
let's
good.
dive right in. Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks
do
like
that.
I'm seeing some headlines now, and it's not looking good.
Well, it is what it is. Yeah. I on the commute each morning, I just listen to radio sometimes, and whatever the CBC is covering, it's pretty much the only thing that has news talk on it. So they have national news and then they have local news. So I'm always like, every morning I have an idea for the show, which is just record the whole morning on CBC and then edit it. And then that's the show for the next day is going, they said this, did they cover it properly, or there is more, or just unpacking it, period, right? Because they'll just say the news like it's just, oh, and this, that, and the other. Okay, next. and I'm like, wait, well, how did that happen? Why did that happen? Who's involved? What's going on? And then just move on. Then they unpack the strangest things that are of no significance to anybody. And anyway, so I thought, even making a website, not cbc.ca or something like that.
Right.
It's
very interesting how journalism has completely changed. And I'm just wondering, if you're taking a course of journalism at university or college, like, what are you even learning?
Well, they do learn. Again, when I was going through school, they taught us that journalism was this sacred thing, that journalists have the highest, they adhere to the highest of standards, and they can't lie, and they have to always get their sources, and they have a duty to the to the people they report to, that they have to tell the truth and all of this, and I would be like, I think that's changed for some reason. I don't think that's still the same. But the professors were still adamant. No. They have to. They got this line they can't cross. They're accountable to you. So, yeah. Anyways, Jerome says, in the forecast, it was 30% chance of showers, 40% chance of showers, and then they have these icons with rain all the way through it. But that also means it's a 70% chance of sun.
It's true.
If it's 30% chance of showers.
And I'm all about perspective. It's all about perspective, and perspective can change your whole mood. So if you're thinking, oh man, 40% chance of rain all next week, oh, it's going to be a really crappy week. Or you'd be like, oh, there's 60% chance of sunshine. Oh my gosh, that's a completely different type of energy and sounds like a way better week.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so lots to talk about. Let's see.
Which one are we starting with?
The bottom.
Okay.
But I'm starting with this Tom Davies election issues. How do you deliver services for a lower cost? Now, I hope any city would be asking themselves this question, right?
Right.
How do you deliver services at a lower cost? So to achieve a 3.7% tax increase in 2023, the city needs to shave off 17.7 million in costs.
Wow.
So this story, I think, was the mayoral candidates were weighing in on this. Mayoral candidates tell Sudbury.com how they propose to maintain existing service levels while also keeping costs as low as possible. So that's not an easy one. Brian Bigger, obviously, had his name there, but it said left the race. Evelyn Dutrazak need to grind down the budget and make city government as efficient as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Need to make a business case showing a financial gain for the city. Simply taking last year's budget numbers and for each department and adding a percentage of choice will end if she's elected mayor.
So these articles kind of annoy me, Aaron, because it's just talk. And the city's like, how do we bring down things? And they do nothing about it, you know? So they just annoy me. It's just we're just wasting our time reading this stuff. And it really upsets me. Because,
and I'm not, and this time, just so you know, I'm not reading the entirety. I'm just picking a sentence out of each one kind of thing, right?
I know, but it's just like, whatever, city, you don't even care. Like, you're so corrupt and nobody freaking cares. Because Evelyn's right. We need a business plan. And hey, guys, we need a business person to be mayor, not a politician. We need a full-blown audit. So that's what they need to do. Like, if you want to bring down costs, you need a full-blown audit of the city because they're wasting a lot of money everywhere.
So speaking of that, this morning driving on CBC, I was, there was some story that I went and listened to a few songs on other stations, and then I came back and they were just wrapping up a little piece on Paul LaFive running for mayor. And guess what one of his main things now that he's saying needs to happen?
What?
An audit on the city.
Oh, Paul. Well done, Paul. Well done. You know, it's kind of crazy. I was talking to someone and I was saying, like, who are you going to vote for mayor? And he's like, well, Miranda, she's like for the trucker convoy. And I said, is she though? Or is she just for peaceful protests or the option that we are allowed to peacefully protest? Well, Anik, these truckers are way dumber than all these doctors. And I'm like, so because they're dumber than doctors, they're not allowed to have peaceful protest. Because did you see any violence? There was no violence. But Black Lives Matter, were they allowed to protest? Yeah, of course they are. Why? Why are they allowed? And why are they allowed to create violence? And it's just like, it's just crazy, Aaron, how different our viewpoints are. Like, and I was talking this to my friend. I was like, man, we both live in completely different worlds. Like, it's completely divided and it's really unfortunate, but I really want to learn why you think the way you think, why it's such a bad thing that someone is just for a peaceful protest. We are free. We're Canadians. We're allowed. People were losing their jobs, so they should just stay at home and do nothing. They shouldn't just stand up for their freedom.
And so who were you talking to about this?
Just a friend.
Oh, okay. So they were just kind of listening to the media, I guess, talk about, because the headline was Miranda or whatever.
Yes.
Was in support of truckers. And you know what's interesting? Every time, and that was a Sudbury Star article. I don't know who else covered it, but when I'm going through the media, Sudbury Star's articles, at the bottom of the page, they have the most commented on articles, like top 3 that you can see on the bottom. And since that article came out, at the bottom of every article I read, that's the one that has the most comments, was the one of her, allegedly taking the side of the truckers, right? So it shows, at least, though, that there's a lot of opinions out there. Sure. And maybe a lot of people are trying to correct, like you were doing with your friend, trying to kind of correct some of the misleading information, if you will, or whatever, and just trying to kind of say it like it is. And I do remember that, the coverage on that as well. And it was terrible. They were trying to make, there was some obvious plants there that were kind of like, basically, 101 in playing these media games. Like they had one guy with the flag, what is the General Lee there, the Confederate flag. And the protesters, if you actually heard, now the mainstream media didn't cover it, but the protesters are saying, hey, who are you? Why are you here?
And he was walking away.
Yeah, we don't need a Confederate flag here. Get out of here. Like, who are you? And just say, and the guy wouldn't say whose name. He wouldn't talk.
One flag.
And he just walked away.
100,000 people, one flag, and that's good. Anyway, we don't need to go down there. It's quite obvious, but what really happened, I found, is that opened up a lot of people's eyes to the media, because a lot of people went to Ottawa and they're like, okay, now they're going to be showcasing this. And then they're like, and Nick, they showcased the complete opposite. What they were showing did not happen whatsoever. So everybody that experienced that situation is like, wait a second. Yeah. There's some false journalism happening over here.
And that's the thing. I'm aware of that. And I'm aware that, that media leans a certain political way. Like, I'm just aware of that. And some people aren't. And so that's what basically I wanted to dedicate my life to, was just kind of that kind of journalism that my professor was talking about, like being accountable to people, actually telling the truth. And sometimes it sounds like you're taking the side of one side when you're not. You're just trying to at least get back into the middle. Right. And the last president of the United States is a great example of that. Someone to which I never really felt that whatever about. I never really liked the guy his whole life. I thought the media was making out to be something bigger than he was. This great whatever, has his own plane company, has his own board games, has his own this. I'm like, oh my goodness, this guy's just a narcissist. But when he was elected, I saw how the media just went and attacked him to the point where it was out and out lies. They would take things he said, clips, out of context and whatever. And with me trying to explain this to people, they said, oh, you support him? And so that's an interesting conversation to be in. I'm like, actually, I don't even know if I do or not. He's only elected for a week. I don't know. I'll have to see what he does first. Give me a chance to see. So it was really kind of polarizing, and the media was really at fault for what they were doing, and shame on the media for doing that. And I know there's reasons, and they are only a tool in the toolbox of people that, want the media to do that for some strange reason. But anyways, I just want to get to some of the comments here. But I noticed that with the trucker movement as well, the same things I noticed, the misreporting, if we will.
Miles said 2 weeks ago, Mila Wong said we need an independent audit, while most other candidates weren't talking about it.
Now, I do know we spoke with Miranda on the show, and she was mentioning an audit right from day one as well. And I thought they were the only two candidates that really were kind of beating that drum of the audit. But now Paula Five's on the bandwagon, right? So
Jerome says, when you have city employees with health benefits better than of a Sudbury miner, you should look at the costs.
Yeah, no, for sure. The 43% of our, money that our expenses are for employees, city employees. And there could be a reason for that. And a lot of people have mentioned different reasons for it, but at the same time, it is a red flag that needs to be looked at. You can't have almost half your costs of running a city going to employees. It just, unless there is a great reason.
Exactly. If we're going to sacrifice things here, everybody needs to sacrifice things. So if we need to bring down costs, unfortunately, people should start losing benefits. Like, so a lot of people don't have benefits. So just because you work for the city doesn't mean you are above the other constituents and that you should, get a $500 massage every year. We can deduct some things here.
Well, yeah,
And I think
I think that's worth looking at. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Johnston's got a vote here from Darren. We also have Miranda's got one from VR Direct. So there you go. A couple people just kind of sharing who they're supporting in the comments. And unfortunately, like I said, I can't share them on the screen, or I would. Downtown Bob Johnston for mayor.
Oh, no, Darren, are you for downtown? Have you been downtown? Do you have young kids? Downtown is so scary. I went to a party, a wedding celebration, and we were talking about downtown, and everyone was just talking like, Nick, downtown is just so bad. It is just so bad. So if Bob is for downtown, I'm definitely not for Bob. Sorry, Bob.
So Place des Arts, the new
that guy
center that's downtown, he was on the radio this morning. Basically, that the building was chosen, I guess, to be on a short list of buildings to be recognized in Ontario, and of course, because it's a new building, how many new buildings get built in Ontario each year? It's going to be on the list because it was built. Anyways, so he was saying how this could be a step in the right direction for downtown. If we can get other buildings built that are similar to it, it will really change downtown.
No. Like, are you mentally ill? Like, whoever thinks that, I'm sorry, you're mentally ill, because we have a huge mentally ill problem downtown. Just because you build nicer buildings, nicer street, the homeless don't leave. They actually go and destroy everything, unfortunately, and leave like garbage everywhere. Like, we need healing centers, we need retreats, we need healing facilities for these individuals, and we need to move them from downtown.
And arts, and I love the arts, and you do too.
Yes.
And there is a need for arts, and usually any great civilization, the showing of the power or the health of a great civilization is its arts, are the arts. So we go and celebrate our heritages by performing plays based on things, or we entertain each other, or we can celebrate, the talents that we each have. And that's where the arts is usually the last thing in a society to really flourish.
It's true.
But it seems like, and I could be wrong, but we're in a decline in our civilization. And so arts is like the cherry on top when everything is going well and everybody's celebrating together the accomplishments, and you always need entertainment to some degree anyways, even if the society isn't flourishing. But it is a big contrast, like you said, these brand new buildings, they're right next to, what is in our society not dealt with, that I think is at the grassroots of just how we treat our fellow human beings,
Yeah, like maybe have a whole art facility on the homeless problem that's happening in Sudbury, and educating ourselves and the people around of what's going on. And there's a comment. Jerome said, Nick, I lost comments for some reason. Don't give up on our downtown. I'm not giving up on the downtown. I'm actually doing the opposite. We need retreats. Like, we need facilities to help these individuals. That will help our downtown. That's the only thing that's going to help our downtown. If we move these facilities, like, we can't have a methadone clinic downtown. These people can't be downtown. Unfortunately, guys, they bring in drugs. They bring prostitutes. They bring, it's violence. And because they need help, they need love, and they need hugs. And, I don't think we should be building this big art facility that costs how many millions of dollars. Like, we're paying for this. Look at our roads. Like,
only
we just,
100.
400?
It's only 100 million.
Only 100 million. Okay. So what are our priorities in this city? It's just all over the place.
Yeah, no, it's and you have people agreeing with you too. Jerome did agree. You need healing centers Don't give up on downtown because, to do it right kind of thing. An audit, Miles says, would bring out how many city bureaucrats are on the sunshine list. Yeah, for sure. And people would be very upset at that, I think.
It's true. VR says, so sad. Seen a young man, probably 17 years old, so far gone. I almost wanted to just give him a hug. My 5 and 6-year-old wanted to bring him home and help.
Yeah.
If only more people cared for these people in our council. Exactly. They're just ignoring the whole problem. Watch Dope Sick. Big Pharma is a root of all evil. I agree. Big news coming this week about downtown. Ooh, Darren knows some stuff. Darren, send us the information.
Well, maybe he wants to keep it close to his chest. This wouldn't be doing that if he should. But yeah, no, you can send it. Hey, if you can, Darren, it would be great to know if you have information. I think we're all hopeful. We want things to happen in our city, and I think there's ways to do it.
We don't need to compare downtown and another entertainment unit. We can have both, Sudbury, because there's different demographic and there's enough population in Sudbury to have 2 areas where people will hang out. We don't need to, just because we open up an entertainment center in another area of town doesn't mean we're going to ignore the downtown area. There's enough people, and like I said, different demographic that can sustain that. But downtown has such a bad rep, and just because you make nice little flyers about downtown and nice little buildings, that won't bring in the people.
Yep. Now, going back to, what the mayoral candidates were talking about with the idea of, taxation and shaving off the 17.7 million, Don Gravel says basically he really almost can't comment before seeing the data. And I think this is the reason for an audit, per se. Now, what I'm worried about is the audit going to be real, or is it going to be skewed in some way, shape, or form? You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's what I would be worried about.
Yeah, who's going to be doing our audit? Most of us will agree that our city's very corrupt. So, yeah, that's something to look at.
Yeah, because in order to satisfy the idea that the citizens want an audit, well, one way would be to be, okay, well, let's just give them a form of an audit with leaving out certain things. That would be maybe the corruption aspect of it, wouldn't want that to be exposed. So you could give an audit that isn't really 100% of an audit that's unbiased, right? So that's what I'm worried about when it happens. Yeah.
Darren's sending us some information. I don't know
I
where
saw that. Yeah.
I just got a video. Darren, thank you.
Right on. Cool. So if he was elected, Don Gravel, he would like to end wasteful spending, mostly on consultants, but also on other things. So obviously he's in the same ballpark as us. For some reason, Bob Johnston didn't reply to that question of how he would shave off the 17.7 million. Devin Labranche, the solution to this is to hold off on large-scale legacy projects and concentrate on building new residential units as well as attracting businesses to Sudbury and increase revenues. I think that is, along the lines of what we've been talking about as well. Paul LaFive, tough decisions will have to be made. That is the nature of public service, and I am used to making them. I will build on my existing relationships within the provincial and federal government to ensure investments are made here to bring the services and amenities to the community's wants and needs. So there's a very political answer.
All
Didn't
right.
really say how he's going to do it, but he's going to do it. But he's going to do it through his relationships, which is why he's here, right? This is why I would submit that he retired from federal politics, because he was planning on running for municipal because of those relationships and that being able to, the seamlessness between the governments to have things done here in Sudbury. David Popescu didn't respond. Miranda says, again, this goes back to performing an external audit, which will shed light on where we can find savings. On an annual budget of $161 million to find savings of $17 million is not an impossible task by virtue of the fact that Sudbury spends twice as much as other communities to deliver services. Substantial savings should be achievable. That's her whole entire statement.
Yeah.
Like I had to pick out like sentences from other people because it was very long. Hers, that was it. That was the whole thing. Mila says in order to achieve 3.7% tax increase 2023 and reduce the cost by 17.7 million, putting a strain on a new city council's fresh agenda. Okay. How will you balance new council priorities with existing service levels and current taxations to ensure continued delivery of high quality services for the best price? Are we currently receiving high quality services? First of all, existing service levels, city needs restructuring. Mind games is at its finangled best. Time to get smart. Freeze property taxes, give taxpayers a break. Okay, so you just shared something with me personally, or
yeah, I got two little video teasers from Darren that's talking about the information that's going to be leaked out on the news really soon, and he is saying that media will be making the official news, but it's something that can change this election fast.
Ooh.
And he says, because the heart of this city is absolutely downtown. Okay, so if the heart of the city is downtown, Darren, shouldn't you take care of your heart and the health of your heart? Because I don't think they're doing that. They're not caring about the people who actually live downtown. They're not doing anything for the people downtown. So Pam says a treatment and healing center only works if individuals want it to work. But here's the thing. There's no option. Right now, there's no option. We have no healing treatment centers in Sudbury area. And I know that if you are surrounded by better people, you will make better decisions. Because when we were helping the other, we had the homeless agency that got shut down by the city last year. People started coming out of their shell. They started sharing their story because they were looked at as a person, not a number, not just like cash. So I get it. You need the help. I just feel like if we can help 1 out of 5 people or 1 out of 10, it's always better to see that. And then if these people actually better themselves, there's a ripple effect that ends up happening. But we can talk about this forever, but there's a lot of more news, Aaron, that we need to talk about, and we're getting close to the end of the show here. We're
almost out of time. New city council to address derelict properties. So Ward 12 Councillor Jocelyn Laundrie Altman put forward a successful motion as part of last week's meeting. So yeah, the new city council is going to have to look. Remember we talked about all the buildings the city owns?
Yeah.
And a lot of them are in not good shape. And they're costing the city all kinds of money. So if they actually sold off a lot of those properties or utilize them.
Privatize that.
Yeah, something has to be done.
People would love the opportunity to own some real estate downtown.
Yeah.
Darren, I think, would buy some real estate downtown. He is a big advocate for downtown. So Darren says there's only one person who actually helps the homeless. So we're just wondering.
Do you mean out of the candidates? Is it Bob Johnson? Is that what we're talking about here?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
He is an advocate for the homeless, Bob Johnston, and that's his whole angle, you know.
Cool.
And I like his slogan, "Bigger is not better." But now that Brian Bigger's out of the question, see, that's the thing with using slogans like that. He's not part of the campaign anymore, right? So it's kind of lost its thunder. And he's not the main guy. So now it's Paul LaFive, who I said from the beginning would be the main guy. Now, this is the thing. You know that Brian Bigger dropped out of the race. His name is still going to be on the ballot.
Why? How is that?
It's too late to change it. Too late to change Brian Bigger's name. I'm trying to find this story here, right here. Brian Bigger currently withdrew candidacy mayor, but because his withdrawal was past the deadline, his name will still be on the ballot. Just don't vote for him.
For making everything complicated.
Just don't vote for him.
But if you vote for him, you've lost a vote because it's voting for nothing and
Now,
nobody.
how many people I'd love to see, and it's going to come out, and I hope they tally it, even though he's not in there. I hope they tally how many people actually are still going to vote for him that aren't really connected with news, didn't really find out that he dropped out. They just recognize his name. Oh, yeah, he's our current mayor. I'll just continue to vote for him.
Darren says
crazy.
It is crazy, and I feel like very irresponsible on Bigger's part, unless this was done on purpose to lose some votes or something. But Darren says he's making a big announcement with an endorsement with an immense amount of collaboration. Stay tuned.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we need some positivity injected into the city.
You know what? I love passion. So regardless if we are on this, I'm not for downtown, but I love passion. I love people working together. I love people with opinions. So I don't completely lose hope of downtown. I think we can do a lot downtown, but I just why are we just always competing between downtown and another area? Like, we should be able to have more than one area to hang out in our Sudbury.
Yeah, it's just weird. But anyways, this was a concern of mine as well. I just wanted to share this one. So Evelyn Dutrazak, who used to be a counselor, who's now running for mayor, says Dutrazak expresses election fraud concerns with online voting.
Ooh.
Online
voting. Like Evelyn.
Online voting in this year's civic election will commence October 14th at 10 a.m. So
we should be able to go see our own vote and where it voted.
Do you remember when they first brought that out last election? It was down for 2 days or something.
Yeah.
So that was weird to me. It's okay, we're going to vote online, first time ever, and then it crashed or something happened. And to me, that didn't instill much confidence with the whole system. I think people need to have their confidence boosted, not have other things add to their lack of confidence. And I just heard, again, CBC Radio, thank you very much. The voter turnout this year is expected to be at 50% of what it was last municipal election, meaning only half the voters will be out voting. And why do you think that is?
Well, people don't trust the system. People don't trust our city. But guys, this is such an important election, especially if mayors get all this power. So this is the first time that I actually think my vote is going to matter because of the possible changes in legislation that will give our mayor so much more power that our mayor will make a big difference in our city. So it's, we need to get Bob on the show.
Yeah, the only thing is he's not able to come on virtually. He can only come on by phone. And I have to have a special adapter and I have to troubleshoot it and things like that in order to have it. What would happen is we try to get him on, and if it's not working,
because he doesn't have
he just doesn't do virtual. So just old school phone. What I could do is call. I used to have an app.
Can he come to the
Probably he maybe studio? come to the studio. Maybe we can do that. Yeah, that'd be good.
So Darren, he says yes, he can. But Darren, we've asked him. This is what's happened. We've asked him to come on the show.
We just asked him to be on the show, but he asked how, and I said, well, virtually, and then he said, well, no, and then I said, well, we probably do by phone, but it's probably going to be too cumbersome. But maybe that's the best way to have him come in on a Thursday or Friday.
Well, Darren, maybe you can help Bob, because Darren says he's in our recording studio. And Darren said he's walking downtown right now, and there's a game changer. I don't know, Darren. I'm liking your style here.
He's on the move. He's a mover and a shaker, which is what we need.
He's shaking things. I like it.
With some people sent more than one voter information letter from the city, mayoral candidate Evelyn Dutrazak said she's concerned people will use them to vote online more than once. So she said people want people to vote once, and it's concerning. Adding that a resident sent a letter to mayoral candidates outlining their concerns and that others have also raised the issue with her. What happens is people can't vote more than once. That's the law. And if you do vote more than once, you're going to be charged $25,000 unless you're in a position where what could have happened in recent elections close to us. There's a concerted effort made, and no one will be prosecuted, even though it could happen. But people don't know that. She said, I'm really concerned about this. Yeah. So anyways, I guess, people have been sent more than one letter to said they can vote. So they can vote twice, as many letters as they get.
Guys, this election is like super important. I've never really been part of any type of politics. I never really cared. This is just really important. So if you are watching the show, if you're watching us right now, sharing the video and saying, hey, I enjoyed this, and you share the video goes a long way, because this conversation needs to be happening. This conversation needs to be happening within your friends, on Facebook, online, because this is our city. This is our future. I have a young daughter. I care about where our city's going. I want to stay in Sudbury, but we all know there's so many issues, and there's so many people trying to do better things, and everybody has different opinions, and we need a lot of help. And the more people that are involved, the more changes we're going to see. And the more people involved and the more people that know what's going on in our city, the more we could hold these people accountable. So now I know, okay, this is their goal. This is their goal. And then in a month or 6 months or a year, we're going to be like, hey, Paul, this was your goal. What have you done here? I'm going to just find him where he lives and like interview him. I probably won't ever do that, but I would love to be able to do that.
And I was wondering if the only way Paul the Five is going to lose this election is if a bombshell comes out before the election. And
so we need to find some skeletons.
Well, the thing is, someone did share something on many of the articles on our Facebook page. Mitch Cha was the name. And anyways, it says, ask Paul the Five about his first wife and 2 children that he ignored, and goes on to explain some skeletons, I guess, or some people could look at that as
if this was anybody else, that would be an article on Sudbury.com.
Well, yeah, no, it's true. And for some reason it says runtime error when you click the link to the Sudbury.com. But it was on one of them, and it's an obituary for his former wife, who died at the young age of 58 years old.
He killed his wife?
No, I did not say that.
I'm just kidding, guys. That's just a joke, okay? We're allowed to joke. Don't get too, personal.
No, I did not say that, for the record.
No, I'm just kidding.
All I did say was there is a link, but this person shared this comment about, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, and it's an error on all the links except for one. And I was able to see the obituary that she passed away in 2017. I believe it was from cancer. Anyway, so this, I don't know.
Says there's a bombshell coming, guys. So I don't know. Darren, looks like you know a lot of stuff that's going on there. Send us all the deets.
So that would be the only way Paul is not going to be elected, is if someone like just totally like, and it gets out in the media somehow, and it goes through, the whole chain of, gossip chain, and he loses favor. Other than that, he's an earmarked guy to be in there. The establishment wants him in there. I think he already retired because that plan was in motion back, a few years ago. So that's my kind of take on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll just take something like that. And again, I have no idea. I'm not saying that's even true or anything. I'm just saying someone shared that. So Miles
says everyone has skeletons. These days, skeletons don't even bring anything down. It don't even change anything. Our present mayor has smorgasbord of them. I've never heard that word before. Smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord. Yeah.
Smorgasbord.
A lot of them, like a big buffet.
All right.
Now skeletons.
A buffet of skeletons.
A skeleton buffet. Slim pickings there. But it is Halloween, so I guess the theme of skeletons kind of goes right along with everything. Sudbury Wolves were in action. They They split their road swing in the States. They lost in Windsor. They won in Flint. Really, Flint is one of the best teams in the OHL in Canada, and they beat them really well too. And then they lost again in Saginaw the next night to a less strong team. But those games were both broadcast here on CKLU 96.7 FM. And David Bowen, who's the son of the legendary Joe Bowen, also from Sudbury, who does the Toronto Maple Leaf games. David Bowen, his son, who played for the Rayside Balfour Canadians in goal. He was also a goalie for the Wolves for a number of games, and including some incredible games where he beat the number one Ottawa 67s almost single-handedly, standing on his head. So great goalie, great commentator. So I would just invite anybody to check out any of the Wolves games here on CKLU, because he does a good game, and that's to also go along with some of the, he's new to the broadcast team, let's put it that way. So he's a great addition to the team. So a couple of announcements in terms, we were speaking about the arts recently, and Judy sent us some of the latest things going on with the arts. They have a huge conference coming up on the 14th. That's the day early voting starts. So their arts conference starts on that day as well at the MacEwan School of Architecture. We have over 55 artists of all genres involved in presenting their best knowledge and advice to those who attend. So
where is this?
There's an article on Sudbury Star they shared at the end of September with all the information in it. Maybe I'll reshare it. I'll find it. I'll reshare it.
Attachment that you have. Is there more information?
Oh yeah, you can see. I forgot I'm sharing my screen. Anyways, yes. Well, I don't know. I think okay. So it's going to be a 2-day event held at the MacEwan School of Architecture. Sometimes artists just need a little inspiration to get over the next hurdle. Nashville singing sensation Crystal Shawanda will inspire with her personal story, taking her from Manitoulin to Nashville in this year's Juno Award. Yeah, sometimes. Oh, she's going to be talking about her Juno Award. Join journalist and author Wabgijik Rice, who used to be on CBC, the afternoon show. Visual artist Minnick Legault, musician Kevin Kloss, choreographer Janie Pernard, as they give their personal tips on success in the arts. So I guess if you're thinking of getting in the arts, making a go of it, making something to take away, something that you can take from these people who are all obviously success stories.
Yeah.
But it's rendezvousnorth.com for details. Rendezvous, it's en français, RENDEZVOUS, rendezvous, north.com for details. So you can get more there. Oh, there's even more stuff. The 8 Bets, Andy Lowe. Oh my goodness, this is going to be great. So some really great artists.
What time is it at?
Well,
you have to buy tickets?
Got to buy tickets. Yeah. It's going to be great.
All right.
Rendezvous North.
In supporting the downtown, if you're interested in supporting the arts, this is something that you can support.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I said you got to buy tickets. Don't quote me on that. It's not anywhere in the write-up here. But I would just go to Rendezvous North, research it if you're interested in the arts, which I actually am.
Pass $100.
Oh, there you go. 100 smackaroonios.
Yeah. Maybe we can get free tickets because we are journalism.
Yeah, we're going to cover it. So,
yeah.
Oftentimes, no, for sure. Yeah. You could.
Some
so
perks.
maybe you can
email.
Yeah,
I'm going to contact them.
Yeah. And say, hey, I want free tickets. But it's been a great show, Nick. I really appreciate you being here. Last thing, there was a Sudbury man who drowned in Lake Nipissing recently. So there's a story there. There's many, many more stories. It's kind of a sad story to end with, but there's so many stories. We just share Sudbury-centric stories on our Facebook page. So if you want to keep up to date with that, or visit Sudbury.news, where we have basically, all of the news in Sudbury in one spot, easy to find and keep up to date. And this show to kind of unpack a few things and talk about things you normally can't talk about or don't talk about on radio or live streams locally. So thanks, Nick. I really appreciate it. We'll see you again soon, right?
Yep, probably on Friday.
Awesome. Sounds good. And thanks all y'all for commenting. Stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU 96.7 FM. Tomorrow, same time, same place. See you then. Ciao.
Bye.
This is Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.